Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. How you doing? Today, I'm going to react to what not to do in London. Ooh, top things you should never do in the UK. Common tourist mistakes by, I don't know how to pronounce a Y and a V. You know, every once in a while, I don't know what languages use that combination commonly, but you know, I see it, I have no idea. Yvette's. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but Yvette's Vibes. That's my best shot. Go check them out. Link down below. Let's see. Top 10 things. What not to do. Actually, it's not a top 10. It's just top things. Okay, great. Let's not put an arbitrary cap on the number of things.
Around here, I'm Yvette, and I moved to London about 3 months ago. And
oh, look at that. When she made this little thing, she only had 500. Now she has 18,000. Let's go. I'm going to skip the intro, though.
Not offend anyone. So number one, if you're in London and you're on a holiday, try not to travel in rush hour. Doubly don't travel in rush, and definitely don't travel in rush hour if you have luggage. You'll get a lot of side eye and rolling eyes of you trying to fit yourself and your luggage onto the train during peak hour.
Oh, the train. I was like, what does luggage have to do with anything? I never think about using the train. You can't use the train. I mean, you can, obviously, but you shouldn't use the train during rush hour. I would have thought that's a much better idea than trying to drive during rush hour. Because with driving, you know, well, I guess I should say with a train, there's no traffic. There's people, but there's no traffic on the train tracks. You know what I mean? The train's just flying down the same speed it always does. So it's not like you're going to get in a traffic jam that takes 3 hours like you might in a car. So I'm a little bit surprised. What's wrong with traveling on a train during rush hour?
It's not easy to fit a human onto the train in peak hour, let alone a massive wheelie bag.
Oh, it gets that crowded? It's like those videos I've seen out of like Japan where they're literally packing in there like sardines. Wow, I didn't know that about London.
Luggage. So you'll get a few looks there if you have to, but understandably, this can't always be avoided, but at least you'll know going into it and you can look apologetically with your eyes everywhere so that everyone...
You know, to be honest, I don't care what kind of looks people would give me. If you're just trying to travel, you know, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just trying to, you know, you gotta go, you gotta bring your luggage, you gotta bring your stuff. You paid for your ticket. If someone has a problem with that, that's on them. But as far as it being inconvenient, like, yeah, okay, I don't want to deal with trying to shove myself like a sardine into a train and my luggage. That just sounds inconvenient for me. I guess it's a little bit, I don't know. Is it inconvenient for other people? Sort of. But I mean, like I said, you paid for the ticket, so it's like, sorry, I'm inconveniencing you by being here.
Feels okay with it. Number two, do not stand on the left. Londoners take few things so seriously as they take the escalators. If you stand...
Oh, okay. It was like on the left of what?
On the left side of the escalator when in peak hour, do not be surprised if you get pushed to the side.
Oh my God.
Up, down, over, wherever, off the escalator altogether. At the very least, you'll get an aggressive "excuse me" as they're trying to get past. Nothing grinds their gears more than someone on the wrong side of the escalator.
Are they actually gonna push me? Oh my God, isn't that assault?
Escalator. Just be a bit considerate and stand on the right. Also, when I say on the right, I mean...
I agree, though. That's extremely rude to stand on the left. Even here in America, I consider it rude. Now, it does happen all the time here in America, so it is what it is. You kind of just gotta get over it, but I do consider it rude.
Everything you own, so don't you stand on the right and have your bag next to you. The bag has to go behind you or in front of you. Those are the rules. You will be very unpopular if you break that one specifically. That is almost like the golden rule of London, is the escalators. Number three is a personal pet peeve of mine. Do not crowd.
I mean, I'm the one running up the escalator on the left, so I guess, you know, I'm not really in that situation where I'm having to cram over to the right. I'm the one trying to get up the escalator. I don't care. Like, I don't care to sit there and wait for the slow thing to bring me up.
The walkway. If you're walking and you don't know where you're going because you're a tourist, that's fine. Understandable. Step to the side. Do not just stop. I cannot tell you how angry that makes me and every other Londoner if you're just walking and just stop. I can't. Or if you're scrolling and just stop on your phone, I can't handle it. No. You'll get a lot of aggressive puffs and tuts as they walk around you. If you're in a tour or you bump into someone and you're having a chat, that's great. Don't do it in the middle of the footpath. If you walk into a cafe and you get an ice cream, don't walk out of the cafe or gelato store or wherever you are and stand on the path and eat it. Move away. Do not congregate on the footpath. Footpath is for walking. Secondly, don't drag your...
I think Americans suck at this. And I also think there's some Americans who, like, if you huff and puff at them because they're being rude. Now, this isn't all Americans, but some, I think some of them would be like, what's your problem? Like, you know, they'd start an argument.
Your bag, unless you have to. It should be next to you. Like on one of those wheelie ones. I understand not everyone has the newest bag, but generally you should have it next to you as close as possible, wheeling it next. Don't be dragging it behind you like a little kid running through an airport, taking up too much space on the path.
Really? It's that crowded on the sidewalks that you're like, man, you're taking up too much space by where you're dragging your bag. Wow. It must be crowded as hell.
Also, I have a lot of points on the footpath, clearly. If you're in a group, never stand more than 2 people wide. So if you're a family of 4 or 5, don't just wing out and take up the entire path, like stopping everyone from walking around you. I cannot stress this enough. It's infuriating for people who are actually going somewhere.
I mean, basically just don't block the footpath. I've never heard it called a footpath before. The sidewalk. Footpath.
Importance, not just sauntering around on their holiday. Number 4, this is more aimed at Americans because I know a lot of Americans watch my videos. I know you guys are a lovely, friendly bunch and just love to make friends. Oh, yeah. Londoners are not like that. They'll think you're trying to scam them if you make an unwanted conversation. So small talk is...
You know what's kind of like that? Las Vegas here in America. That's the only city that you know, I feel like that's similar to, that I've been to at least, where people try to talk to you in Las Vegas. I just got to the point where I kind of like, you know, brushed them off because I don't know what it is about Vegas. Maybe it's that they're all like gambling addicts and they're all desperately in need of money. Something. They're all trying to make a quick buck, but I don't trust them. They're a little bit sketchy in Las Vegas to where they're, you know, they're all trying to sell you something, trying to do something.
It's not a thing here, and if it's small, it's very just like polite phrases. You know, hi, thanks, yeah, all right, thanks, bye. That's it. If you're looking at a tube map and you're trying to ask questions to someone, they might help you if it's a genuine question, but don't expect a full conversation about where you're going and what's good around the area and tips and advice. Not a thing.
It also kind of reminds me of New York City. That's where I was born. Well, I was born in New York, not New York City. But, yeah. People are in a rush there. They're in a rush.
Londoners do not enjoy unwanted conversation.
To be honest, they don't seem very happy. You know, they just look like they're stressed out and in a rush. I don't know if that's kind of how it's sounding.
I know.
In London. I'm saying that's how they are in New York. Yeah.
When you go to America, everyone's like super welcoming and kind and wants to know everything about you, but that's just not the same here. So keep it minimal. Obviously, everyone's not going to be overly rude. Don't be afraid of asking people things, but yeah, don't strike up a conversation as if you would.
I'm not that kind of person anyway, though. I'm not that type of American to just talk to just anybody all the time. So I think it would be all right.
With a friend, because they'll be confused and probably very shy. Number 5, back to the footpaths again, because I can't get off them. Don't walk slow on the footpath. Like I said, Londoners walking around aggressively trying to get the places. If you're slow, you'll get huffs and puffs and tuts about you being in the way. Try to keep up. Don't just walk slowly on your phone, measly about. Try and walk with purpose.
You guys are all business on the footpath, huh? Wow.
Or at least walk to the side so that people with purpose can get around. Number 6, queuing. One of the number 1 rules is standing to the right on the escalators in England. The second most important rule at all is going to be queuing. British people respect a queue. They like to, if you're American, that means line up. So they like lining up for things. They respect waiting your turn. Everyone gets to go. It's civilized society. No one's pushing in. We all get our own turn at the right time if you're patient. Patience is a virtue here. I cannot...
You know, I've heard this one before, and I always think it's kind of interesting because I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, people feel the same way over here in America about a line. You don't cut the line. No, you don't cut the line. Now, there are circumstances where, like, the line may be fuzzy, and that's frustrating to me. I agree. I think we need to be maybe a little bit more serious about starting the queue, the line. You know, when there's no, like, physical barrier identifying the line you're supposed to be forming, it causes, like, kind of just a mob to form, and it gets fuzzy, and then, you know, it'll be like, who's next? And then, you know, sometimes people will be like, oh, yeah, they were here first. But other times, you know, that asshole will go up ahead of you. You'll be like, wait, I was here first. And, you know, depending on your mood that day, you may or may not say something. But in general, if there's a line and it is clearly defined, this is the line, no, you can't be cutting people. No. That's outrageous. That's so rude.
I'll tell you how unpopular you'll be if you just jump in line, if you just jump in the queue. If you cut a queue, you'll be the most unpopular person in London at that point in time. I can tell you that now. They do not value cheating. So if you see a queue, just get to the back of it. Ask someone in the end, are you the back of the queue? They'll say yes or no, it's over there, and you can go there.
I wonder what country this doesn't apply to. Like, which country? I bet I could imagine some. I bet some really laid back country like Jamaica. I bet they're pretty relaxed about the line. You know, they're just like, they're not paying attention too much. They don't care, you know? Maybe that's stereotypical. I don't know. Jamaica just seems like a very chill place. You know, oh, yeah, man, you can cut me in line and I don't care. No, I doubt it. They're probably upset about it too. Now I'm just wondering if that was somehow offensive. Hopefully not. Love Jamaica. Great food.
Do the right thing, particularly at an airport if you're lining up for a flight. Personal gripe of mine as someone who catches a lot of flights. Number 7.
Ooh. Cutting in line at an airport. Oh, no. Can't do that, especially, you know, at an airport, you are on a mission. You know what I mean? And it's a time-constrained mission. You're either going to make your plane or you're not. And if someone's cutting you in line, they're contributing to you potentially missing your flight. No. Very bad.
Brits are punctual. If you're meeting a tour, if you're meeting someone for lunch or dinner, don't be late. They value punctuality and being on time. It is seen as a respectful thing to be respectful of someone else's time and not to keep them waiting for you. It would be seen as arrogant to assume that your time is more important than theirs, and they don't take that well. So do the right thing and be on time, or at least...
Here in America, it's like on a person-to-person basis. You know, you'll be like, oh, that guy's always late. You can expect him to be 20 minutes late. I am on time. Usually.
Something drastically goes wrong, at least let them know. Don't just keep them sitting there waiting for half an hour to an hour. That is a very easy way to get yourself disliked in London. Particularly because everyone has no time in London and everyone's busy. So keeping them waiting and wasting their time is of the utmost offensiveness. Something to be aware of, and I'm a bit guilty of this sometimes, is that the peace sign, I do this a lot in photos, tend to it's just an easy one to get, hey. The reverse of this, which I won't do because I don't know if that'll get my video flagged, so this but backwards, is basically the middle finger in England. I know in America, it used to be quite a good, and even Australia, I think, during the early 2000s, the reverse of that used to be quite just like a go-to sign to do for photos, you know.
What? You're telling me if I flip this around right now, up, to me it just means peace. I mean, I feel like I can do it because I'm American. That does not mean that here in America at all. That just means peace. And you probably see me in 1,000 photos like, I'm afraid to even show it. I do that all the time. Oh my God, that's a great tip. Okay, I'll be terrified to hold up the peace sign when I visit England.
However, it's offensive here. It's basically sticking the middle finger up. So if you're sitting there...
So you're telling me if you do that to someone, you'd be like, F you, dude. And you'd be like... And that's okay.
Doing that in a photo, they'll get a certain...
But you also have the middle finger. Is the middle finger, like, worse? Which one's worse? Which one's more offensive?
Impression of what kind of person you are if you're, you know... Imagine if someone was taking a photo in front of, you know, Big Ben or something, and they had their middle fingers up. That doesn't send the right message, and that's essentially what you're doing if you're doing the peace sign backwards. If you can't remember which way's the right way, don't do it at all.
I don't know what kind of message that would send. I hate Big Ben. Maybe it would look like you're doing like V for Vendetta, you know what I mean?
Very easy to offend because you could be essentially sticking your finger up at someone. I know people who've been driving and then they say thank you and they go, hey, thanks. And it looks like they've just flipped someone off because they've just put their hand up, but they've only...
Oh, yeah. No problem. Oh my God. I could really get myself in trouble over there in Europe. Getting all sorts of fights and I wouldn't even know why.
Only done the two fingers and...
Isn't that ironic? I'm calling for peace. Peace, guys, peace. And everybody's trying to fight me.
It looks like you're flipping someone off who let you in. Driving, it's a thing. Don't do it. Be aware of it. Number 9 is eye contact. Try not to make any unwanted eye contact. If you make too much eye contact, they'll think you're flirting with them because they're very reserved people and any interaction at all will be seen as a threat or flirt.
Even when you're talking to them? Or just strangers?
Or both. So just be very aware of that and respectful no matter how close you get someone on the tube. Try not to make eye contact with them because it's just awkward. Number 10 and my final etiquette.
Unless you're trying to flirt, huh? Then all you gotta do is look at them. Hey, that makes it easy.
Tip is to not mimic accents. Do not walk around London saying, hello, governor, or...
Oh, God. Didn't I already did that with the Jamaica accent. Oh, no.
Tip in the morning to you, or whatever you want to say in Cockney rhyming slang. It's not seen as endearing, it's not seen as fun or sweet. They'll find it kind of offensive and that you're mocking.
Really? Okay, I guess I could see that. I would love it if you came here and did an American accent or a Southern accent, Southern American accent. I would think that's hilarious, especially if you're like British or something. I would think that's really funny. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I would assume we're all having fun, you know what I mean? If I was over there doing a British accent, it would be doing it in fun, in the name of fun. But if they think I'm doing it, making fun of it, then yeah. There's a big difference between having fun and making fun.
Definitely don't just pick random words to try and mimic. I know sometimes you'll be talking in a normal accent and then you'll be like, laugh. One word doesn't make sense. And often because there's so many different dialects of England, you'll be picking random ones so it's not even believable. It just sounds like you don't hear the difference in it. It's just bad.
But that's true. I get you would look goofy. That much I understand, and I'm okay with. I'm okay with looking goofy. Like I don't know what's going on because I'm not good at accents. That's for sure. But I kind of, I feel like that would lighten the mood, sounding like a total buffoon.
Yeah, so they'll just think it's offensive, so you don't want to... They might smile and nod, but let me tell you that doesn't mean they're happy. They'll be, oh, okay, annoying to them. No one ever hears someone mimicking their accent and being like, oh, that's great.
Oh, I do. I can say that for sure. Maybe I'm the only guy. I think that's really funny and interesting somehow. Just to see, how good you are at it. And, it's just kind of funny, like hearing someone with a drastically different accent and then all of a sudden they switch and they sound kind of like you. It's like, whoa, that was cool. What about actors? Actors do it all the time for movie roles and stuff. And some are so good at it, I didn't even know they were, Australian or British.
No one ever has that response. So just save yourself the hassle and don't mimic any accents if you can help it.
That makes me mad. I'm very disappointed.
Or unless someone asks you to. That could be fun too. Or if they mimic your...
Hey, there we go. Okay. If you ever see me in Britain, just ask me to do my best impression. And I will.
accent first, you're in every right to do it back to them because you'll see how annoying it is. So those are my top 10 British etiquette tips if you're coming to London and what not to do. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Tell me in the comments below if you're from London, if there's anything else you think people should know what not to do, or tell me if you've been to London and you've done any of these things and how did they go for you, because I can guess. I'd guess it's not well.
That was very good. Go check out her channel, link down below. I love it. Fantastic. Thank you for watching. Have a phenomenal weekend. I'll see you next week.